Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special edition on here on NDB Media. It is Trekking Across. Oh man, I should have said it was Hammer Time, and then actually say it's Trekking Across the Universe. I'm being dumb. We'll get to that in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give a shout out to Robert Summers Potterton III for composing the intro song, and for Jag for actually doing the video portion of it, which is absolutely awesome. You know who I am. I don't want to bore you, Michael. How you doing?
I'm doing great today. Been a busy day so far.
Yeah, I bet the weather's great where you are, but I'm not going to complain. Marcia, how you doing over there?
I am doing great here in Florida. We're ready for fall weather.
Yeah, we're not. It's still 106 over here, unfortunately. But I want to remind everyone, head on over to ndbmedia.net. Please like, subscribe, and follow. It means a great deal to us. That means the old guys need attention. Oh, sorry, Marcia. And I want to bring on Jag right now. And how you doing, Jag, in the lone state of Texas?
Yep, we're doing good. Actually, we're a lot cooler than you are. I'm looking at 85 degrees right now.
Okay,
That's
whatever.
awesome. But I do have something even better to report. We have the honor and the pleasure of having Pavle Jerinic with us here on the show.
Hi,
Welcome.
guys. Hello, guys.
How's it going?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. So thank you for dropping by. So I guess it's up to me to start off the show with the first question. So first of all, welcome. And how or what did you base your character on? Or who have you based your character on of Felix Strickland?
Oh,
Wow, nice and broad to begin with.
sorry.
I start off with
Yeah.
the hard questions.
That was good.
Yeah. I'll get back to you in like 5 minutes. I'm kidding.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, basically, it was the way they Jonathan Glasner and Dean Devlin saw it was already a painted picture for me. Of course, it developed later on with his family and with the relationship with the other guys from the ship. But when it was painted already, it was actually someone I would like a Japanese samurai. I would base that guy on the ethics and stoicism of a Japanese samurai. So that would be like the first thing I would go to, and of course, him being he almost felt as if he's non-flawed, which we had to make not be, because it would be like almost godlike character, which we don't want to create, obviously, for obvious reasons. And so I trained kendo. It's samurai sword fight. I trained it for like 6-7 years. So I was already in that discipline and the way of thinking. So it wasn't pretty hard for me to just jump in and start that journey.
So it's interesting you mentioned that, because that was another question I had, that you do have the martial arts or that the sword and I think Muay Thai training from what I've read. So when it came time to doing the character, like in season 1, there was a scene where you were actually doing the actual sword fighting and stuff. Was that your idea that you presented to the producers or the showrunners or the writers, or was that them saying, "Hey, he does this, let's include it in the script"?
It was the first meeting with Dean Devlin that I mentioned. I don't know how it came up, but I just mentioned I trained kendo for 6-7 years. And he was like, we need to put that in the show. So that was just something that happened almost accidentally. But the thing is, with sword fight inside the ship is really tricky because the ceilings are not that high.
Yeah.
So it had to be condensed a little bit, not as much as flaunting or as I would like it to be. But we made the best of it, I think.
It looked good. I mean, it looked authentic.
Thanks.
It looked like it looked for real. And
It
pardon
looked
me,
like you knew what you were doing.
yeah. And pardon me, because we're also used to Strickland not like smiling So I'm kind of still, you're obviously opposite. And so I'm kind of like starstruck a little bit going, oh, he actually smiles. So that's a cool thing. And I guess the other question is that we had recently had Shalini on with us on our show. And she mentioned that she adores working with you in those scenes. And I gotta say the chemistry between Felix and Kabir with her addiction and Felix standing by her in season 1, and then of course the pain that Felix goes through with learning about his husband and her coming to Felix's aid, and then just recently with Felix and finding out that she had those issues with her ex-husband and Felix helping her out. Do you have, I'm going to assume you have just as much fun as she does doing those kind of scenes, because that chemistry between the two of you really resonates.
Thank you. I mean, I'm super glad that it shows, because those scenes are at the top of importance for me, and I have as much fun as she does, maybe even more, in making those scenes. But it's funny because we've seen each other at each other's high arc points, if that makes any sense. At the pinnacle of our characters' arcs, we're there for each other, and Shalini is the biggest dude among women, like female colleagues. She's the biggest dude, and she has this amazing persona and charisma, and we just get along so well. And even without saying too much, we just basically know what the other person thinks. And I was joking in behind the scenes, but I'm actually not, by saying that those scenes are gonna jump into my show reel, because they're the best scenes of I mean, top of the best scenes that I've done so far on the arc. And yeah, it's this what's the word? I'm so sorry. It's
okay.
late over here.
It's okay.
And hot.
Yeah, yeah. I'll turn on the AC, thankfully, but it is hot over here as well. It's this. We all both show courage in grasping those scenes and grasping the intensity of those scenes, and the other person is there for she's there for me, I'm there for her, and we're not holding back. That's the whole point of it all. We're doing so well together.
Yeah, it's definitely, like I said, it does resonate, and it shows the realism. If it's in between the two of you as actors, it comes out even in the character, because
thanks.
Those are
but also, yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
I just want to say that those kind of scenes are like when you hit the brake in the car. It's the arc is always running and running and running and running, and those scenes are just, wait a second, let's turn the camera away and see what's going on behind the screen. It's like we have the time to breathe, and like where you develop that. Those are the scenes where you develop your characters, basically. When you learn something new about them, when you just see their views, their perspective, and that's, I think, why those scenes are the best for me.
Yeah, the discovery aspect is also very cool. You find out a little bit more about the character. Anyway, thank you, Roger. I'll take it back to you.
As a matter of fact, I want to give a shout out to everyone in the chat room. We're going to get to your comments right now. We have several new guests, but the first shout outs are to Elizabeth Bowman and Elizabeth Olivia Cooper, who have given us likes. I want to go straight. I don't recognize Corey Dean, but hello. Thank you, Corey. Yes. Hi, Pavle. I love Strickland. Don't know if you can see this.
Yeah, I just
now.
Hi, Corey. Thank you so much.
I want to go to Tom Ladd, who I do not recognize, perhaps because I've become infatuated with Tamara Radonovich. Yes. Radonovich. That one I should have had. I have greatly enjoyed your scenes with Jelena Griff, who has been on our program, sadly, and I butchered her last name. So I do want to get into, yeah, sadly. I want to get to some of the comments. And folks, bear with us. We're going to do our best to get to all of them. This was one of the first ones. The Archaholics are in the house. Question, when you were in Mayhem, did you get any crossover scenes with your father? Also, because your dad is an actor, did it have any influence on you becoming one as well? Did you think we were going to stick to just the Ark?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course not. Of course not.
That's your fan group, Pavle. They're here to ask you those questions.
Listen, a big shout out to Alcoholics, and so big thank you to all of you guys keeping it alive and kicking and real, and thank for your support. It means a lot to us. We often share stuff that you post in our personal group, and we have so much fun with it. So right, back to the question.
Thank you. No, seriously, thank you.
In Mayhem, well, it wasn't that big of a part. It was like, I think it was my first international job, and it was 10 or 15 years ago, something like that. I was much younger, just getting into the movie business, and we did not have much room, much space, especially like this local talent. They were shooting here in Belgrade, Serbia, but we didn't have much opportunity to shine. But we made the best of it, and I did not have any crossover scenes with my dad. I in this like 15 years time, I did only one TV show that I had scenes with him, and we did multiple projects together. And yeah, well, he was a big influence for me becoming an actor, because obviously I spent loads of time in National Theatre Belgrade, which I'm a part now, part of. And when nobody could take care of me, he would take me to rehearsals. So I was amazed by the set and the stage. I mean, that whole thing. And yeah, that was a big deal for me. So throughout the whole education, I did theatre. So it was just like this line that just never stopped. So here I am now.
Wow. Excellent.
Amazing.
Thank you. And folks, Elizabeth Bowman, greetings, Arklings, and welcome, Pavle. And Elizabeth Olivia Cooper says the ARC fan group is in the house, and members want to say welcome, and they are very excited to see you. And we have another fan group as well, don't we, Marcia?
We certainly do. I create and admin the ARC series fan group, and we are so excited to have some of our members be crew and cast, and we have lots of threads where we discuss all things the ARC, and we invite you to come and chat with us if you'd like. And if I may continue, I first saw you in the Outpost,
right?
Which was an amazing role, and you immediately caught my attention. You have a very distinctive and resonant voice, and you played number 313, Marvin, and you were so imposing. I want to ask you about that role. It was quite an emotional role, really. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a big ride for me. It was my first big gig in terms of international work, and it wasn't supposed to be that big of a role, but when we started shooting, it just fitted so well that they started writing more and more and more of that 313 Marvin guy, and it was. I remember it was shooting for 24 days, and every day I needed to sit in that chair doing makeup for 3 hours. So in those 20, it was days and days. When you add those hours, when you add that time, was days spent in that chair. But it was so amazing to be a part of it, and those sets were amazing. The crew cast were, as I say, it was the first big gig for me, and some other guy would probably be tired and stuff. It was 1 a.m. on the call sheet when they would pick me up to take me to the studio, because like when you begin at 7 a.m. and you have 3 hours to do your makeup and a rehearsal before that, and like time for breakfast before that, you have to wake up at midnight. So that kind of sucked.
Wow.
That kind of sucked. But at the time, I did not mind. I felt like I could shoot for 24 hours straight, and it was an emotional ride, because the whole that whole storyline about those guys being slaves to these masters, I think it resonates to a lot of people that feel that way, and they feel captured in some kind of pods, somebody just tossing them left to right, right to left, and just having no say regarding their own lives. And his son dying, him trying to save his son, but
Yeah.
actually ends up killing him.
Mm.
That was bad. And at that time, my wife was pregnant, so all
Mm.
that was a tumbling, turning all over my soul and my mind. And at the end, he ends up saving his wife and daughter, and that was as well as shooting in the studio and in Syria. They made a whole city, as you saw. They had
Mhm.
made the whole city, and shooting there with all those fight scenes and stuff like that. It was like I felt like a kid in a pastry shop. It was just so much fun. I was almost
Mhm.
like, yeah, guys, you don't have to pay me. I'm just gonna stick around and shoot it. It's gonna be. But I mean, obviously, it doesn't
Mhm.
work that way.
Yeah, don't say that out
But
loud.
Yeah.
especially now after like
Right.
5-6 years working and international work, I'm like, of course not, of
Mhm.
course not. That's good.
Well,
But
now
thank
and
you
we.
for noticing that.
Oh, it was beautiful. Part of my heart forever. And then coming to the Ark, I was so happy to see your name in the cast. I thought, oh my gosh, this is that you were going to be incredible, and which you have been, and I'm sure will continue to be. One of my favorite early scenes, I'm going to take you back to season one, was the scene with you and Kat in the shower with
Yeah.
the water. Um, that kind of set the stage. Do you remember about that? I'm still laughing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can guess why you're laughing, but Christina Wolf is, first of all, I must say that she's amazing. I mean, I know this sounds like a cliche, me saying, good things about my colleagues, but I'm so sad that we lost her in second season. I mean, she did come back for Katrina in episode 4, if I remember correctly, but it was heartbreaking, because she's also, I mean, she's an amazing actress, and I'm really glad for her. She's been doing, I heard she's doing really well, and I'm really glad for
Yes.
her, and she deserves it all and more. And that was that. The thing is, like, she was the person that controlled that scene, because obviously it was this predicament of her being basically nude in the shower. So she needed to make me feel confident, if that paradox makes any sense. But
Mhm.
It does.
like, me not showing like, oh, sorry, madam, I just yeah, need to stop you doing it. No, it just, she needed to make me feel confident about that scene, which she did, because she's such an amazing friend and colleague. And that did set the tone for, as I say, painted picture, as Strickland was and is. um but yeah, I remember I was trying to make him, what, the thing is, like, the saying less is more. So
Mhm.
when it was one of the first scenes when we see Strickland actually, like, in a scene, not being all hectic and running through the shot and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So I tried to do as less as I could, But thankfully, I saw the monitor, I saw the playback, and I was like, oh, hell no, this is so robotic-like. So we needed, even if you remember the scene, so it was
Oh
like,
yeah.
it was plain, but if that makes any sense, I toned it up a little bit from what it was before. So the thing is, like, when you work in front of a camera, sometimes what you think it's good, it just, when you see the playback, it's not exactly what you wanted. So thankfully, we have amazing communication with our DP, Igor Šunter, and the camera guys. And when they see stuff like that, they can absolutely suggest that we make a slight adjustment, or they let us see the playback so we can collaborate on that and make the scene better together.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. That set the stage. Thank you. Roger.
Thank you, Marcia. I want to give additional shout outs. Judy Dietz, Corey Dean, thank you for the likes. And let me go over a few other ones. The man is in the house. Nathan Sherritt from Perth, Australia. I mean, talk about a corner of the world. Yes. Hey, everyone, your resident gift maker is in the house. 2 live stream panels in one night. Who said sleep was important? So that is good. There was a comment while you were talking about it. Nathan also said Christina is doing a brilliant job on FBI International. And folks, again, we will get to your comments. Bear with us. I'm not trying to pick and choose, but I'm trying to get everyone as best I can. Michael, you're up, please.
I'm up. Well, I was going to ask a question that's already been gone through, but that's okay. Going back to season 1, we have had now both of the Trusts on our show. And what was it like working with Paul and with Mercedes when you had to basically pretend that, well, pretend, but you made them survive on Earth and then they threw you on Arc 1. What was it like, the interaction? Did you all work on how you were going to play that, or did it just come naturally?
No, well, thankfully we had time to meet each other, and Paul and I, we go way back. I mean, first thing we did, he was actually what's he called, vocal coach? Yeah, vocal coach, right? For when I did the Outpost. So back then I knew him as a vocal coach, but when I heard he's gonna play William Truss, I was like, oh, amazing. So anyway, we knew each other from the Outpost, and it's a bit strange because being around Paul, it just makes you feel like you have a relationship with that fun, kind uncle that always gives you gifts and nice advices, not being too invasive, and just, you know, having that kind of a nice uncle in your life. It's like being around Paul. But thankfully, I know some stuff about acting, so I think so. So I had to drive myself to hate those guys. Mercedes as well. She's really laid back lady, and she's a big friend and like open to talk about basically everything, and as we did, and it was I mean, it was hard in terms of you know, when you're off set, you're having fun basically, or you're joking and stuff like that. But when you're on set, there's no, as you know, I mean, I'm not trying to compare myself to Michael Jordan, obviously, but when he said like on court, there are no friends. So basically, it was like that.
Wow. Ooh, that was good. I appreciate that, Michael.
Yeah, going to season 2. Well, let's go way back. Season 1. You were talking about when you went on the set of The Outpost that you were very impressed. What did you think when you saw the set of the ship for the first time?
Yeah, dodgy. It was really dodgy because
Dodgy. It was dodgy.
Yeah,
How many times did you get
Yeah.
lost on set?
oh, every time. Listen, when we need to get to the green room, I always like that John Travolta meme. Like, they just take me by the hand as a small child and just drag me along to the green room. But yeah, we got lost multiple times, and the thing is, I think that the set of season 2, that ship being devastated, I think it works a lot for the show, because I remember some comments about set being too grey, being too monotonous, and I understand the point they're making. So that's why I say it was dodgy. It was. I mean, it depends on the room, also, but those hallways, you have to make the best of it. You have to, shine to. I mean, to be perfectly honest, if somebody is watching the walls behind you and not watching you act, it's my fault. It's not set design fault.
Right.
Well, and then I mean they did have an excuse then when they had to get the front part of Arc 3 over there that was obviously a little more advanced, and so they could do some things, which was great. Which was great that they had an excuse to do it and to fix some of the problems. And the budget. I mean, I know very well they didn't have a very big budget, and they, as I said to certain people in power, I said, Dean and Jonathan, I said, I really think you blew your entire budget for the year on the planet explosion in episode 12. And they just kind of looked at me and just didn't say anything. And I go, yeah, I'm right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I totally get it.
I don't know anything about budget, to be honest, but it seems much better. And I think the whole season 2 is such a massive step up.
Oh, absolutely.
Compared to season 1 in terms of everything, except losing Christina Wolf, which is a loss. But everything else, I think, this set wise, story wise, everything wise, even acting wise, I think it's a big step up compared to season 1.
Yep.
Well, we're all hoping that will bring us season 3. That's what we're all hoping.
As well, yeah. Me too.
Roger, did you want to go to more questions, or did you have some fun questions?
I'm going to go to a few more questions in a moment, but I do want to remind everyone, please let us know who you are and where you hail from. I know we're getting a lot of comments, but it's kind of cool. It's a worldwide audience, and it's kind of neat, at least for me, to know where everyone in the world is. Pavle, I do want to say I appreciate what you said earlier on it possibly being a cliche on how you all get along as a group, but that might work outside of the ARC audience, because we have learned as fans that you guys are incredibly tight together. And your comment blew us away just a few moments ago, that you come into the ARC chat rooms and you share this stuff amongst yourselves. I mean, wow. And knowing that you guys are spending time with us like this, it's just incredible. It's real.
Yeah.
It may be a cliche outside of here, but we know it's not, young man. You guys really do seem to get along, and everyone. And it's not a question. I'm sorry, Pavle. That's why we'll go to someone else real quick. And we are stunned by your level of investment, insofar as that when you come over to get harassed, I mean, questioned by us. Oh, hey, by the way, how does Chief of Security like it? We're the ones that are asking questions now. But yeah, I kid, of course. But we see that you guys know the story. You guys know the plot points. You know all the extra little details. And we as fans are like, wow. We know it's a job, Pavle, but you live it. You live it for us. Wow.
I think we do. I'm just gonna say this. Ryan posted in our group chat the other day. He found a photo of well, on IMDb page. First photo you see is like, I think, Sharon Garnett, Lane, Bryce, and Angus. Is photo of 4 of them, and somebody photoshopped me in a samurai suit, and he posted that. He sent us that photo, and we were like, "Wow, this is amazing!" And then he said, "Like, oh wait, they photoshopped that over me. I don't find it funny anymore." It was.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, but we make fun and jokes and all the time, in our own expense as well. I mean, it just fun times, and I hope to see much more of it in the future.
We do as well. We're hoping to see, I think, Michael, Jag, are we on season 8 already? Or what was the numbers uttered?
So
Well,
I said 4.
I said 5.
So
I
we're
say
at 9.
6 seasons and a movie.
Okay, 6 seasons in a movie. Okay, there it is. So not that we're bidding, but we're already looking forward to 6 seasons and maybe a movie between 4 and 5 or
I'd
5
like
and
to
6.
see I'd like to see an anime.
Ooh,
Ooh.
yes.
Ooh,
Yes.
That big.
that
Ooh,
would be good.
That's high ambitions. I like that.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Look, Pep Pest is in North Carolina. Corey Dean is in the state called Nevada. That is cool. Appreciate it. I didn't get it earlier. Probably. Where are you at right now? Are you in Serbia or are you somewhere else right now?
Belgrade,
Okay.
Belgrade,
As
Serbia.
you know, Michael is in the United States, the nation's capital. Jag is in Texas, and you already know Marsha, myself. So, folks, just share it in the chat room. It's kind of cool. And as you know, Nathan, he is in Perth, Australia. Wow, talk about being far away from everyone. I don't know if
Rock
you've
and roll.
seen his gifts, but he is the resident man. He's the one that actually creates a lot of the humor that is in those gifts, which is really kind of neat.
I'm a big GIF and meme fan, so thanks a lot, man. Means a lot. As a never mind. It's late.
I'm sorry. I do that to people. I'm sorry, Pavle.
He does.
as you know, a creative expression. That's what I want to say. Creative expression. Okay. Yeah.
I have to tell you before I hand it off to Jag, and I apologize. You are stoic. You are, as I referred to, as a hammer. You are a blunt instrument, and knowing that you have color, you have your vibrant. It's like, wait a minute, who are we talking to? We mistake you for your character, and I apologize. It's just you do so well as Strickland, but we might be going back to that. It's all good. Jag, by all means, go ahead.
All right. So I was one of many, I'm sure, that were wondering if Strickland had survived the big explosion. And I kind of figured, and a lot of crossing fingers, that he would, because he's such a stone for the ark. He's the actual, the rock that pretty much holds the whole ship together in terms of security. And the scene you were talking about, Kat and Christina earlier, that scene where you find her, and that was such a sad, emotional kind of scene for everybody, because first of all, we were all excited that Strickland had made it. And then when we see Kat, we all kind of, what? And then that little dialogue that you all have while you're carrying her over to the med bay, that was kind of really nice, where Strickland and Kat kind of still, communicated, and she was making her delirious, I'm going to call them delirious jokes. And I just want to let you know, and I'm glad I have the opportunity. I'm hoping one day we can have Christina, but that scene was well played by both of you, that it emoted that chemistry between those characters. And so I can see when you were talking about you guys get together in a group and everything, and that you guys, hang around and, love each other as family. And the same thing you were saying with William, and I'm sorry, Paul and Mercedes. It's just, when you, like I said before, when you do those scenes, it's very emotive. And I just want to let you know, and I wanted to have that opportunity to say that I appreciate what you guys do, and I think the rest of the fans do. That was more of a comment than a question. Now I'm coming to the question. So, in episode 6, when they find the Earth box, was it your idea or the script for Strickland to use the jump rope?
No, it was mine. It was mine. It was like pick what you think is best for your character, basically. So we never saw their box before the rehearsal to do that scene. So when we opened it, we were like, okay, so what do you want to pick? And I thought like the pink jump rope would be appropriate for Strickland. I mean,
Yeah.
I know he had a husband, and I know that might bring loads of questions and whatnot, but I tend to just give out small details that would go in terms of that kind of part of him,
Yeah.
and because as I said, I like less that is more, and I don't tend to, pinch the audience like, look at this, putting fingers in their eyes. I think they are intelligent enough to see what I mean with not giving them all. So I think the pink jump rope is just something that would resonate with him the most out of that box.
It was an interesting little trinket of a side of Felix that we don't see or think we would see, because he's always so straight. He's always
Yeah.
so direct within the boundaries of the rules and law that you just don't see him being a kid,
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
and enjoying the simple things of life. He's always so focused on security. He's focused on the safety,
Yeah,
the big
yeah.
adult things and not the little kid things. So just like the episode with the clone, I mean not the clones, the other you, where everybody was the alternate character. This was kind of your way of showing your alternate character, in my opinion.
Yeah,
In that,
yeah,
in that.
exactly.
So
And I
I
really
just thought,
tried. Sorry,
go ahead.
I just want to say, I really tried to, because that was the sole time that we would see that pink jump rope. And I was talking to directors and the other guys are like, we need to put that pink jump rope somewhere else. And just before we made the first take of the gym scene with Shalini, I was like, yeah, this is the time he would bring the pink jump rope. And it was just a small detail. I went into the gym holding a pink jump rope, and that's the only thing I needed to see that thing somewhere again, not just
Yeah.
making one detail and then forget about it. Just two makes sense. One kind of.
And it's also, I guess you can also say it was kind of a subconscious to see if the fans are paying attention to what Felix is doing anyway. Because I would have thought he's going to pick up a bat or pick up a sword or pick up a weapon of
Yeah,
some sort, or something that makes more sense for the character. And like I said, to see the complete 180 and see him playing with a jump rope, it was just a nice touch. And so
it, thanks.
it added flavor to the character.
Well, I think like this is gonna be a really big of a stretch of an answer, but let's begin like this. I deleted my social media stuff like Instagram and Facebook because I felt intruded, as if my Instagram profile blew up to 40K, and I felt like I needed to feed those 40K with
Mm-hmm.
my privacy, which like shared a layer after layer of my persona, which I didn't want to do, so I deleted it all.
Right.
And I did not want to share my privacy with loads like this big auditorium. And I think the characters as well, they don't want to share privacy. I know what Strickland does in his own room, but I don't want that to show to the audience if I don't have to. So that little pink jump rope was this little keyhole that
Yeah.
they would, have to see into his private cabin. So that was, that was something that was in my mind when I tried to do that.
Well, it was well done, and I'm going to make this real quick, and then back to Roger. So Ryan, when we had him on, said that you and him had a scene in. I'm trying to think. Is it the other you, where he's the security officer, and
Yeah.
you're his boss, and that he had done a sop, like a real exaggerated, because he had that one word, what's up, but he had done it in one take, what's up, or something like that, and you gave him a look. I'm wondering if you could share that look with us, because he said that one look you gave him just completely blew him off,
Yeah,
like blew him away. So something like, yeah, whatever, something was that. So do you remember that look?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a bit of that look went into the shot, but I know it's his close up, and I'm getting into his close up, and like they're focusing on to me for the answer. But yeah, we talked about that scene when we read it, and we were like, we need to like put in a little bit of comedy into that scene, because otherwise it's alternate universe. We need to try to make out of it. So anyway, he's my subordinate, I'm his superior, and him saying to me, "What's up?" I'm like,
Sorry.
Yep.
So you do not approve of his Halloween costume with the alternate Angus then?
Yeah,
that was funny,
like,
man.
Where is yes, sir?
Yeah.
So I'm like, Medford, what's up?
Well, he said he loved.
Awesome.
You said he loved that so much, and now I knew that when we found out we were gonna had to ask you that. So I'm gonna take it back to Roger, but I'm gonna remind Roger, and I'm gonna give the honor to him. Roger, I think it's time it's at 44 coming up. Time to ask that favorite question we like to ask.
I appreciate that, but I'm going to defer to someone else because we have a lot of comments. But thank you.
Okay.
I may get to it in a minute, but forgive me a moment. Here we go. Arc 54 says, speaking of set fun and Ryan, guys seem to have a blast together. This was a little while ago. I apologize. Yeah, it's really cool. As a matter of fact, yes, the video of Ryan and Pavle in the latest after the arc at the Biodome was quite funny.
Yeah.
So we do appreciate that. And
there's going to be a spin-off to another show.
And we need details on that. Yeah, we do.
Pitch it.
We're watching. Elizabeth says, I dearly love the way you handled your love story when Strickland broke. It was gut-wrenching and beautifully done, and I may have a humble addition to that.
Thank you.
But okay, thank you. Yeah, got it. Okay. The scene where Jag mentioned earlier in episode 1 of season 2, when you were having the conversation with Kat, forgive me, but when she said we would have had a great time together, I know it was, whatever. Your answer was spot on. It was great. It was genuine. I don't think you were faking. Strickland was not faking it. I don't think.
I'm sure we would.
I thought it was wrong.
I'm sure we would.
Oh yes, yes. It was genuine. You weren't just putting the character. Strickland was not just, whatever. And it came across that way. It was really cool. I don't want to dominate. I know Marcia, I'm sure, is dying to ask a few more questions.
You know it.
Guys, actually, Marcia, I'm sorry. We have quite a few people watching us. And if you have not done, I'd like to do a roll call again. Everyone, put in the chat room. Why don't you let us know your favorite episode that Pavle is in on the arc, and maybe a quick comment and where you are, or just come and say hi. Let's do a roll call. We haven't done this before.
Mm.
So,
Well, I
why
mean,
don't
he's
you
in
mention-
practically every episode, so you got to
Yeah,
let
I
him
know,
choose
so-
from. So.
But I want
Which we
the
don't
audience-
mind at all.
Yeah, I want the audience to answer that, please, and say, what is your favorite episode with Pavle? That's cool. We haven't done that before. So
Okay.
that's it. Marcia, go for it.
So, if I may, well, are you a sci-fi fan? Have you seen, for instance, the Mirror Mirror episode of Star Trek, the original series, or have you? No.
I'm gonna have to disappoint you, but I mean,
Okay, I gotta go.
Well, you have homework.
Okay, the interview's over. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Oh my God, you got red. You're all red.
Aw.
Sorry.
But
Yeah,
but you
sorry.
really might enjoy that because there have been sort of mirror opposite episodes of lots of sci-fi shows, and that kind of reminded me of some of what we saw in The Other You. But in the first episode of season 2, when you come out of the rubble, I almost thought you had superpowers because you rose out of that. You just sort of.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, well, funny thing is that I tried to act it like if he was like seriously damaged, but director Mark Roskin, he was like, "You're too slow, mate. We don't have that time. We don't have that time. So just come on, speed it up.
Yeah.
Don't give me that Stanislavski thing. Just go for it." Yeah, so I understand completely what you're saying. I was as well thinking like, okay, like nothing to it. Come on, let's get to this.
Superman.
Yeah.
Well,
It was just time.
And I don't know if you felt it yet, but in most every sci-fi show, especially, there are fan favorites that just happen. It's not something that I don't think that you personally went into this and went, I'm going to become a fan favorite. But Felix
That's not
is
how I
something
approach to work, actually.
that has just reached across the screen and said, "Here I am," and we love it. And do you feel are you starting to feel that from fans?
Well, I got a couple of emails, and the guys in the chat group, they're from time to time sending me stuff because I'm offline, basically. But listen, a big shout out and thank to all the fans. When we started airing, the comments that came in, they were so bipolar, in lack of a better word. There were people there that I never encountered sci-fi fans before, and there was this is my first with that kind of a group of people, and I just noticed that they tend to be quite militant. I'm kidding a little bit, but listen, it's either minus or either plus. There's no in between ground. There were people that threw buckets of all kinds of feces at us because of they did not saw it that way or whatever. But on the other hand, there was this big, massive army of people saying, "Stop doing that. It's let them work, let them breathe. It's going to be amazing, and just keep doing what you do, and we're going to stand in front of you to defend you," and stuff like it. It honestly felt to me like there's a massive army in front of me that's saying, if you touch those guys, we're going to jump in and prop you up or something like that. It was amazing to see that. I never felt that before. And thank you for that energy and that dedication.
Yeah, once you become part of the sci-fi universe, fandom embraces you forever, and
I feel so confident and so in the right place as I can be.
That's wonderful. And one thing that's a kind of apart from your work on screen is that I've noticed that I saw a couple of videos in which you were doing cooking demonstrations. Do you one was, I think, keto cooking, and that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was something that, I mean, I was part of this big TV show that's it's still they're still shooting it and it's still airing. I did that for like 2.5 years, and it's been, I think, 4 years now since we began, and I jumped out of it because you know how it is with TV shows that are so long, especially because like it's this domestic TV show was a telenovela, which I'm not big of a fan. I'm not at all a fan, but it was work, and I was professional in every single day I came on set, but I did not want my name to cling on to just that one show for the rest of my life, and I went out. So anyway, that was kind of. We were not basically obliged, but it was like, if you could do this, the PR guys were like, if you could do this, do this cooking interview, TV show, whatever. But so to debunk it, to demystify it, they already handed out us those recipes and stuff like that. It was already made, and we were like trying to be as much as fun clowning around that stupid TV show. Anyway, yeah, because audience love to see our personas off screen and making, something tasty as well, and it was just,
It was
yeah.
it was crapola, pretty much. It was interesting, but you were really good. So it looked like
He's
you
an
were having a lot
actor,
of fun.
Marsha.
You were
I
like,
mean, joking aside, I mean, I wasn't joking. I was actually being honest, but
Oh,
satire aside,
satire.
I'm really fond of cooking, and especially like some kind of chowders and stuff like lentils and beans and stuff like that. I enjoy cooking a lot when I have the
Mhm.
time.
Mhm. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Back to you, Roger.
appreciate that. Again, I received quite a few comments on that roll call. Corey Dean says, I like all of the episodes. I can't pick a favorite because I love the arc. I love the entire cast, but Strickland.
You got the eyes.
Yeah, I like that one. That was good. We get it. Nathan says my favorite episode of the season is episode 4. My favorite scene of Strickland I'd say is from episode 7 with Kabir opening up to Strickland. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what we are
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, we're actually getting a few others now. Well, we just added another one. Elizabeth Bowman. I love the katana versus the electrical wire scene in season 2 of episode 1. Is as much of a balancing act to film as it looked on screen.
No. No, because basically, like that pool of water is like 20 centimeters shallow. So when
20 centimeters. It's funny.
This is gonna sound so stupid, but never mind. Anyway, I'm holding to the bunk beds, and I slip and almost touch the water, which electrifies me, and I could just, get my foot back on the bed and get up, but I try to do it with my hands to show as much as I can. Jesus Christ!
It's called
How
acting.
strong
It's called
he
acting,
was,
Pavle.
right? Yeah.
You are
To show
paid for
those-
that.
Yes.
Yeah, to show those guns as much as I can. So,
You work out, might as
Yeah.
well show 'em.
That's right. And we
yeah,
want to
it was-
see him.
It was
Oh my-
so stupid.
Again, you are paid for that. So
Yeah,
take it
exactly.
for what it is.
Exactly.
It's
I mean,
all
if you
good,
enjoyed it, who am I to judge
We did.
myself?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we definitely did. Nathan says, and I believe this was from a few moments ago, or maybe it was, about 5 or 6 minutes. I made one of my split screen gifts from that scene with subtitles of Kabir saying, he was abusive and I fell for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Appreciate that one. And I don't know if you've commented before, JP Paulus, but thank you. I also really loved him in Outpost and really
Thanks.
brought such depth to the character. And with the arc, I can't pinpoint a specific episode. JP, let us know where you are and where you hail from. But I feel like Pavle has made the character all the other characters who would have to say is the most trusted person on the arc. You know? Yeah. And I'm watching. Oh, there it is. I'm watching for the actual city of Chicago, not the suburbs.
Chicago.
Thank you, JP. Have you been to the United States, Pavle?
Yes, I've been to Seattle. The thing
Oh,
is, my
did
brother
you get some?
Get some
No,
what?
go please. Sorry. Like clam chowder, or
Yeah, absolutely. We went to anyway. My brother was living in Vancouver, Canada, and he was working there and working and living. And we one weekend we went to Seattle. It was just basically downstairs from Canada, and yeah, I love the clams, the crabs and all the shellfish and stuff. That's just, I could live on that. And the food in Seattle and Vancouver as well. I mean, it's just amazing. But we got this big apron and a bucket. Literally, I never saw this in my life before. But a guy like just sprays all kind of seafood from a bucket in front of me, and I'm like, look at him. He brings me a hammer, and I'm okay.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
There's the hammer reference.
there's the hammer.
And like 2 hours later, I was like Homer Simpson, basically. It was fun to see.
It's a
Seattle,
lot of work,
especially-
isn't it, to get that fish out? It's a lot of work,
Yeah, I tend to love that kind of work.
but it's good.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I like the atmosphere in Seattle. I mean, obviously, the rock and roll city from Nirvana, Jimi Hendrix, and all those guys. I enjoyed it the most, like as I could for that one weekend. But I will be coming back to US.
Ooh,
Great.
maybe in October.
I'm not saying
Electricon?
anything. I'm not saying
Okay.
anything. I mean,
All right.
I mean the I know that Electricon is Hendrix rock and roll. I know that Electricon is happening, and we will have to wait and see. I cannot, hand out information because they're not certain, but hopefully we'll see each other there.
One of our questions is, and we probably shouldn't do it, is we like to embarrass everyone by saying, hey, you been to a fan convention? Hey, you want to come over to one? We probably shouldn't.
You
be doing
don't?
that, but
Okay.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, I've never been to fan conventions before, but I did not have the opportunity. But I would love to see what goes on in there, because I've seen some footage of fan conventions, and I think it's just so much fun.
They are amazing.
that was part one. There's part two, minus the R. So that was cool because you're fans together. Tom says your accent says no, but your command of English idioms says that you speak a lot of English. Yes.
Yeah.
Quite good. Yes. Corey says, Elizabeth, find a way to kidnap me because I got to go to that one. And I think we're talking about the conventions. Now, I do want to take a moment. I want to remind everyone, folks, we're running out of time. It's run fast. And I have a comment, Pavle, knowing that you deleted all your social media, knowing that you are a private person, wow, you're spending it with us. And I mean, how can we say thank you to that? Because you are opening up to us. And we're going to really hit you with the personal questions now. Sorry.
No, we're not.
No, yeah, we are.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we are. What
No,
kind of
that's
phone do
too
you have?
personal. He might not. Like
Yeah, we'll see. If he blows me out the air,
Yeah.
if he sends me out the airlock.
Well, he
what
knows
kind of
where
phone do
they
you
are,
have?
Roger.
Android or Apple?
I'm an Apple guy.
Okay. On your,
All right.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
On your
I
music.
was an Android guy before, but once I switched to Apple, it was just not going back.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Fair enough. When we
Yeah.
open up your music on your phone, what is the first song we hear? Other than
All
Mr.
along,
Hendricks.
I think it's All Along the Watchtower. Sorry to disappoint
Oh.
you.
No, that's great. And the audience loves to know all that. And look, now we're getting some comments about I'm Android, and we'll see. So I do want to ask another question before I go over to Michael, but we started early on because of Mercedes de la Cruz. Knowing the evil character that she was, I posited, I said, so if you had an arc number, what would it be? And I threw out there arc 86, because if you 86 someone, you're eliminating them. And she said, no, it would be 1, because we're in charge. I'm in charge. And every cast number has given us a different number, and we should have a list for this. If Felix Strickland, head of security, Mr. Hammer, the blunt instrument, were to be in command, or you be on your own arc, what would the number be?
Oh, that's a good question, because he would not be on Arc 1. He was not supposed to be head of security on Arc 1. But I suppose somewhere along the way, like 3, 4, 5, not much behind.
Okay, so that is humble that you would be. But if Captain Strickland had an arc, yeah, the arrogance that you have not shown all day today.
Yeah.
You have not, seriously. What would Strickland's number be? Would it be 197? Because that's a homicide code over here in the United States. What would it be? Yeah, I forget what 197 is. It's not a good code.
Or 10-4, right?
Or it could be like 10-4. Yeah. Oh, right. Confirmation 10-4.
Yeah.
I know I'm putting you on the spot, and if you need time, you can answer us later.
To help you out,
Okay.
to help you out, Ryan said
Please.
8 because
Yes.
that's one of his favorite football players. That's what he said.
You dismissed the
He
sum.
dismissed that. Yeah, he said
That was
8.
good.
And a few others have
Nah.
said like their birthday, like their actual day of their birthday. So like 22 or 12 or a lucky number or something like that. So maybe that
What
helps
was
you a little bit.
Paul's, man? Paul's
I think Paul said, so the two favorite ones was one from our director, Milan Kojevic. His was Infinity. So it would be
yes.
Arc with the Infinity. Oh, look at the look. Look at the look.
It was a good question.
And,
Jesus.
and then what was the other one? It was his.
I
was
know we're
Infinity.
belaboring this, Pavle. I'm sorry.
I love.
We're giving you time.
Yeah.
Stalling.
The amount of philosophy behind this question is just.
Oh my God!
It's
There
pathetic,
is.
isn't it?
There is, yes. Welcome to the sci-fi audience, buddy.
Yep.
But okay, let's say his husband Robert was on 3, so that'd be a bit of a drag, be a captain on, your husband is on the ship, that'd be a drag. But let's say, Arc 8, that would not be the case because it's all with guys with clones. So somewhere between 3 and 8, then I'm gonna say 6.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. No one has taken 6 yet.
No
so
one's
that's
taken
good.
6.
We do have to
There
make
we
up
go.
that list.
There we go.
And sorry, Pavle. I mean, we were belaboring that one.
It's amazing,
but it's-
guys.
it's-
This
it's-
is amazing. That question is just
You
the
know,
backstory
you're-
of that question is completely blew my mind. Just
You're willing to play along with us, and it's just
Absolutely,
our mind is blown. Okay.
I just like the
Michael.
look he gave when he did the Infinity. He's like, what?
Oh, I know. That was great. Folks, give us your ARC number in the chat room, please, everyone. If you had an ARC, what would that number be? Because I think Mr. Paul also told us it could possibly be other than trust, just the name trust. I think he said an equation, a mathematical equation. So that-
Jesus Christ!
Look at him.
I know. We're done. We're done.
He's turning
Pavle,
red
I'm sorry.
again.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Michael.
Well, Roger, now you just turned him red.
Like, no. It's just like if an arc would be a number pie. You know, that sounds like
Oh, there you go.
There
like
it is.
3.14.
There you
something like
go.
that.
Or the little
Oh
symbol.
man,
Actually, Michael, the reason why
sounds like an intelligent answer, but is it?
But it's
it's the security code. It works. The security code. Michael, you notice he was getting red because he's realizing
he's getting ready.
this is why I deleted my social media.
Yeah.
He's
Go,
now
Michael.
thinking, why did I agree to this interview?
Well, see, that's what that was my question. Pavle, do you regret answering my email?
No, listen, I'm having as much as fun as you guys. I'm having fun. And it's the end of the
Then he goes to the chat group. Man, I have the worst time ever.
Right.
Don't go on the show.
Oh, Arc 31. That was good. Now, I didn't use it this time. I'm good. Oh my God. Mine was Arc 47D. And from Star Trek, if you know, when they add a letter, it means the original ship was lost. And then it's like the family sequencing.
okay.
Or the joke is, I lost the other three. Because you have A, B, C, and now I'm on D. And 47 is a big number in Star Trek and in movies and stuff. But that's neither here nor there. Michael, go. Save me from this indignity that I am making him suffer through.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
I know.
I'm gonna go. Sorry, Michael. I'm just gonna go back to that question.
Thank you.
No. It's a big question.
Okay.
So anyway, listen up to this handsome answer. I read Hitchhiker's Guide.
Hitchhiker's Guide to. Oh, I know the number you're gonna. Oh, I know the number. I know the number.
Let him say it.
It's 42, mate.
42.
Yeah. That's gonna be mine.
Excellent.
Brilliant.
To all things ever. 42.
That's
Yeah, we are, dude. We are. You see how little for us to give you adulation?
That makes up for not watching Mirror episode of Star Trek, the original series. So
Actually, yeah, it does. You've seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Michael, no, I'm sorry.
I'm scared to
Love
go
that.
now. I mean,
No, you know what, folks? And I apologize. I'm going to go public on this statement because I was not here. Folks, we're on Pavle's time. I don't know how much time we have with him. And I don't want to take any more seriously. I don't want to put you on the spot, but I know we've gone over an hour already. And you're like, yeah, I know. I've been counting every second. Okay, no worries. Let us know in the chat room. Give us an idea. But thank you. So, folks, that's not weapons free or anything, but whip out your katana. I messed it up. Your katana sticks and let's practice. Go ahead, Michael, and then we'll go back to Jag and then Marsha.
Okay. Do you enjoy doing the stunts? I'm thinking you have some stunts that you have to do. Do you enjoy doing them yourself, or do you have a stunt double do some of them, or do you do all of them mostly?
Thank you for that question. I enjoy stunts.
You can talk about Outpost too. I mean, all the stuff.
Yeah, the thing is, I wanted to say that in Outpost, I had to have a stunt double because of the prosthetics. Mm-hmm. I wanted to do all those falls and jumps and whatnot. But if I mess something up, that's gonna take so much time to get back into that scene. So I needed to have a stunt double for that one. But in terms of arc, I have a stunt double, but I tend to keep Miroslav, that's his name, keep Miroslav on the bench. So I could do everything by myself. And I think it was episode 2 of season 1, that big fight scene in the cafeteria. And that was, I think, the fight I enjoyed the most. Even though I had the fight with Katana, but as I said, I think before the interview, it's a cramped up space, so you cannot, because of the ceiling is too small, you cannot be as flashy as you want. But that cafeteria fight scene, I think we shot that scene a whole day, and they were tossed, those guys, the stunt guys, they're not messing around, and you have to come prepared and you have to come strong, because otherwise they're just gonna make a rag out of you. And because they were tossing me, dragging me, hitting me, sometimes unintentionally, sometimes. But we did, I think, more than 100 takes of that sequence.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it took so much shots and so much takes for every shot, and it lasts a minute, which might seem a small amount of time, but 1 minute of fighting is like no joking
Hours and
around.
hours.
So yeah, so after that day, I remember I went home and I was just sick. I had like a fever, and I felt like all my body was broken after that day of shooting. So even though I needed to go tomorrow to shoot another day, I was just being gassed out, because that day was massive. But I enjoyed it the most, even though it took a toll.
Wow.
You are paid for that.
Exactly.
So yes,
Exactly.
that is awesome.
Exactly.
And
I mean, sorry to interrupt, but I mean, people tend to be whiny about how work can get hard, and that's one side of the story. I mean, you are paid to do all those things, and on the other hand, the viewers sometimes don't respect the amount of effort and time and energy and strength you invest into those shots. They just take it for granted. As like when we watched The Revenant, when I heard like the comments, that's not big of a deal of a movie, I'm like, do you know what those guys needed to go through to make that kind of a movie? The sacrifices they made to make that kind of a movie. You obviously have no bloody idea. So that's a perspective that should be shined upon to the audience and actors as well. Like, we are paid to do those kind of stuff, and people should acknowledge them.
Yeah.
I agree.
What else? Well, okay. If, which I'm hoping never happens, if the Ark does not have a season 3, what would you be looking forward to do for your next? I said I don't want to say that, but I feel if I say this, then all the things that I say don't happen. So that means it'll happen.
Oh,
so, see what I mean?
smooth.
I'm using reverse psychology.
Officer thinking, Michael.
Yes. So if the Ark does not have a season 3,
right,
what would you love to do as your next acting gig?
Well, the thing is,
either a special movie or a genre that you haven't done, or did you want to revisit again, or do it?
I'm going to tell you something that hopefully is going to bring joy to the audience, but now it came out on IMDb. So The Librarian's next chapter is coming out, and the TNT is picking it up for, I think, 2 seasons.
Yes.
Anyway, the first season is done, so the airing dates, they're waiting for it. And I'm in one of those episodes. As probably Librarians, every episode is its own episode. So I was in one of those, and it was really fun shooting that episode. And it's like I'm the subject of that one episode. And,
cool. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. It
That's
was
awesome.
something different that I did from everything else I did before. But after that, I would, with a big if, season 3 does not come out, I would love to do some action, and I think now's the time that I still have the energy and muscle to do it. I would love to do some action. I mean, any subgenre of that genre.
Yeah, that was exclusive news, but it is on IMDb. I want to tell you on a personal note, several guests have told us things, but it was off camera, thank goodness. But now that it's public, they can say it. I'm not saying
It's public,
Pavle
yeah.
did. Yeah, which is absolutely awesome. I know we were doing a program after, and they said, I'm like, oh, wait. Was that supposed to be? And the actor was like, oh, yeah, you know what? You're right. We kept it silent. We kept it quiet
Yeah.
because we love what you do and we love being here. So we will
Thank
never
you.
violate any of that. But
excuse me,
no, go ahead.
in terms of not losing me, I gotta have to put my phone on a charger. 10 seconds, please.
No
But
problem.
I hear
No problem.
everything you say, guys.
No
I
problem.
don't
Wow.
want you to,
Go ahead and
to
sing and dance,
lose me.
Roger.
No,
Don't be ashamed.
I was about to comment on the audience numbers going up. Are you crazy? I will never ever do that. No, never. Oh, that's funny. That is really good. Pavle, that was
think
funny
we're
when you
good.
put the hand. Oh,
The hand.
sorry.
It was
Sorry,
awesome.
yeah, no, that was great.
Oh, I love
a-
live.
As a matter of fact, there's nothing like
Live
it.
is so much fun.
I love
Elizabeth
live.
says Arc 54. Rick says Arc 11. And then alternate universe, Elizabeth says 54. Elizabeth Bowman said 5150 or the square root of pi. Corey Dean said Arc 31. And I know this was asked. Pep Pest said, I started on Android and I'm now on Apple. And there was a comment by Elizabeth, which was really smooth. This one's deep, guys. Pavle was an Android guy till he met Kelly.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Okay, that one is deep. That one is great.
So he might not get that because
You
of
know what? That is awesome.
Oh,
Yes.
Ah.
Wow. Yes.
wow.
Elizabeth, that's a score, baby.
Wow.
Now, Corey asked this one a while ago, and I apologize, folks. I'm trying to get to all the questions, but I am sorry, inundated. Pavle, ask Strickland, what certain aspect of yourself do you bring to his character? Now, you may have answered this a little bit before, right? But no, you said who inspires you.
Yeah.
How much is you?
Well, the thing is, I mean, obviously everybody has that fighting for justice side in them, but I know from time to time to be kind of a tight ass in terms of no, that's not the right way. We're not gonna go that way. It's not the right way. So, and I can be stubborn as an ox sometimes, you know, in terms of that. So, as Strickland is, I don't think he used diplomacy to get to his answers, but he never was deceitful or saying something that he does not feel or think that way. So I tend to be diplomatic from time to time, but more of the time I tend to be straightforward, as he is.
Wow, I appreciate that. Elizabeth says, and this was another fight scene in the shuttle with the clones due to Reese playing the double role. How long did that one take?
Well, that was crazy because that thing was it took. I mean, it's not that big of a sequence. It's not a minute. It's less.
Yeah.
But because Reese had to do two roles, and all the time he plays two parts, it just takes double amount of time. Thankfully, the guy who is playing the other guy in the shot is George. He's one of our guys. He was amazingly prepared, so we did not waste any time, you know, trying to get those two guys clicking. He came prepared, and but anyway, it was sometimes even Reese was like, was that line? Was it mine? Was it yours? Am I playing Ian, or was it Lane? It was Lane. Anyway, it was tough for him as well, and for him was tough the most. I mean, but it took, I think, the whole day, that fire sequence as well, even though it wasn't as big as the cafeteria fighting scene.
Right.
Thank you for answering me, guys. I appreciate you. On a side note, I would never want Strickland mad at me. I would run LOL. I agree. As a matter of fact, there was a comment, I'm going to get to it earlier when I was talking about you throwing me out the airlock. There were some good comments about that one. So I have to go back and find them. But anyway, Michael, did you anything, young man, or were you done?
No, just move on to whoever's next. Yeah.
Okay, I know I should go to Jag, but I'm going to pretend to violate orders because I believe in sup. I pretend to be the guy in charge. That was lame. I'm sorry, sir. Marcia, then we'll go to Jag.
Thank you. Well, I want to go back to when you talked about your the music of Jimi Hendrix, and on a personal note, Jimi Hendrix, I was fortunate enough to see him in concert, and he blew me away. I was very young, and I went out the next day, and that was the very first album I bought ever in my life that I spent money on, was his music. So thank you for bringing back a wonderful memory for me.
By the way, he's left-handed as well as, I am left-handed as well as he is. So
yes. Yes. Left-handers unite.
Yeah, man. It's like
yeah, man.
Michael, are you a lefty?
I probably should have been, but my teacher in first grade wouldn't let me write with my left hand.
Oh, that's a massacre. Oh, Jesus Christ, no.
Marcia, are you a righty or lefty?
Oh my goodness. But yes, so I'm a righty. I was going to be quiet because I'm, surrounded by lefties here. So.
No, I'm a righty.
But yeah, so. But
only lefties know the perils of being a lefty.
Yeah.
And like those blunders in the notebooks that you make with your hands while writing, it just,
or the ink on your palm as you're writing, the scissors.
This was always black. Always black.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I will say I do try to be ambidextrous, so I write with both hands, just in case I break one hand, then I'll have the other one.
That's good.
I can do it on a chalkboard. The chalkboards don't exist anymore.
But then I also try to write backwards sometimes, just for fun. But so when you're talking about other things that you might do in the future, I think that you might consider romantic lead here, because have you thought about doing sort of like Hallmark romances or that kind of?
I mean, when you ask me a question, what would be your next favorite role? I always say that the next one. Being a professional, it just whatever you threw at me, I just need to find a way to cope with it. And I'm not the biggest fan of that genre, but I think listen, after 2.5 years of doing a telenovela, I went through basically everything. I was a baddie, then I turned good, then I was a baddie again. I had a stroke. I lost a girlfriend, and she lost a baby, and I found my father, which I turned out that I hate, because he, and I'm not joking. I'm not making this stuff up. So I mean, it was a big training, and I went through, I think, a whole spectrum of genres during those 2.5 years, and I'm just gonna do my stuff as professional as I can. So I mean, why not? So, if somebody tells me romantic, a romance or romantic comedy, I'm there.
And to get back to the arc, we haven't really talked about your relationship with Kimmy, a new character,
Yeah.
and that was kind of explosive from the beginning.
Yeah, well, the thing is, as it was written originally, we would just be like giving each other looks because she was obviously, uh, I mean, she was the one who did not stop the massacre on Arc 3, and more the reason I have to hate her guts. But the thing is, when the strike happened and held us for, I think, 4 months or something like that,
Yeah.
that actually gave writers the opportunity to, if they overlooked something, to rewrite or, stuff like that. So basically, they saw their relationship kind of dry in terms of just like hating each other. So they turned, we were at episode 5 when we got rewrites for episode 2. So we needed to go back to shoot additional scenes for episode 2. Um, One of those being also the courtroom scene with Kelly. That was also written I mean, that came after the strike, and then we got to see those guys being actually leading on to some kind of a friendship or just acknowledgement of their personas. So uh, um, I'm thankful for that because it's much more juicy than just standing and looking at each other, hating and just not going anywhere with that kind of relationship. So now we're kind of allies and realizing that. I mean, that's the thing with this show, which amazes me. It always gives people another chance. And nowadays, I think we're just, crossing over names and people, whole people, or a group of people. We're crossing over them because we just don't like their opinions. I think that's kind of BS, to be honest. And I think that this kind of show reminds us that people need to be listened at, and giving people another chance is just something that basically is even like religion wise, it's if you call yourself a Christian, you should give people another chance. You should not cross anybody over. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Crossing off,
yes,
crossing off.
crossing them.
Yeah. Hmm.
Right.
It was
Thank
clear,
you.
Pavle. We got it. It was clear.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it just. I mean, I'm not being uh, trying to be, diving into politics or stuff like that. But I think like the whole world is it's not just like West or the East or whatever. I think the whole world is now being divided and just entrenched and not listening to the other side. And I think the reason why we held our heads above the water for this long is like people exchanging thoughts and opinions, and that's the reason why we're not dying of simple cough or a sneeze, or we're not building pyres to burn people because they're saying that Earth is round like they did in medieval times. It's because we're advancing, because we're exchanging thoughts and ideas and stuff like that. But people tend not to do that anymore, and this show, I think, is trying to bridge the gap.
And I think it's doing it well.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Pavle, for that.
much.
I'm going to go
Welcome.
to a few more of the comments. Nathan said, "Oh, okay. Let me take that one away. We asked a few other guests before you, obviously, if you had a chance, kind of like that American movie, where they change places, trading places, I suppose, where you are them and they are you, obviously. Who would you trade places with? Because Paul mentioned that he would play Trace with Christy because he was like, I want to be the boss.
Of
So
course it
it's
would.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I guess we can ask that two different ways. Pavle, who would you want to trade with, and who would Strickland in an episode? What would you want to see? Let's put it that way. Who would you like to
Oh,
see Pavle taking on? You know, if they were switched.
no doubt. I thought about this question before, and I
Oh, I'm
think
sorry.
that no. Why be sorry?
Oh,
I think that I would love to in some kind of a alternate universe. I would love to play the character of Kelly. That because her arc is it's like a roller coaster arc. It's like uh,
yeah.
completely crazy because the things she already knows and does, and a whole other universe that she does not know that was done to her, and that's inside of her, and the way she goes from season 1 to season 2 to the end of season 2, it's just completely mad, and the power she possesses, and all of that, it just so juicy and so like anyone would ask for. That Kelly would be mine.
Knowing what happened in this episode, and I'm not going to do any spoilers because some people probably have not seen it yet, and we will review it on Sunday. Wow. Yep, Pablo, what you just said, wow, especially in this last episode, it was interesting. And it's interesting what Captain Garnett did, the failsafe. That was, I didn't know, that was well done. And I know we could talk about the episode, but I wouldn't have done that. But I did want to say one thing though. Flashback when Christy tells Kelly, "I'm gonna keep it locked up so no one can get to it." She opened the drawer. Did anyone catch that? I thought it was
Yes.
kind of funny. I was like, "Well, I guess it's locked in your quarters." But anyway,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, it was really cool what happened. Some On a personal note, your frustration in the biodome was evident. You wanted to go out there and crack some skulls, man. You wanted to go and reestablish not necessarily. Okay, that's stupid. You wanted to do what you needed to do, and that was really good about this last episode. That there was no communication, and yet you guys were all taking automatic roles to save the family.
yeah.
That was awesome.
Thanks, man. I mean, there was a scene written in the Biodome, a fight scene written in the Biodome, but Mark Roskin was directing that episode. We talked about it, and we just, mm, when how should I put this? We tend to make things. Uh, when the we not. I'm putting myself into a knot now, but with my thoughts. But we're trying, as actors and directors and writers as well, we're trying things not to look naive and not to look as simple as they might. So they wrote a fight scene in the Biodome, but we just could not because of it's different when they write it, when they imagine what it will look like, and it's a different thing on set. So the Biodome is the worst stage for a fight scene because it's
Mm.
all cramped, and it's all plants are all around you, and it's muddy and it's slippery, and we just needed to, and Mark Roskin had the power to edit that scene out. So we made this bypass that we would lock those guys in, and we would, jump out and do as much as we can to free the others. But nevertheless, it's a fight scene, which I love doing. So I feel like we could have just got a little bit muddy. It doesn't matter, but nah, we had to edit it out.
Well, if it
Wow.
were men fighting, I know the female audience would have loved it, and I'm sure some men would have loved it as well. But hey, it is what it is.
I
Sorry,
appreciate
I'm
it.
old. So I have another announcement. We got another like from Sonia Robles, who's a local girl. Thank you for that. And this was cool. I know this was from a few moments ago. An arc. Ooh, that was yeah. And I'm not sure, Corey, if you're acknowledging that or what we were talking about. What they were doing to recoup the family, because that's how I saw it. I did appreciate that. There were like
Yeah.
4 or 5 little Mission Impossible stories,
Yeah,
and they
yeah, yeah.
went back to their roles to just try to resolve it. That was cool. I'd never seen that before. But I'm dominating. I don't mean to. Jag, why don't you go ahead, young man?
So I'm going to make a comment based on our interview thus far, which has been incredible. We were trying to get you last year, and for whatever reason, we were not able to, and that's fine. That's the way it was. But I remember when I was talking to Michael about it, I said, Michael, I think he's just too much of a private guy. I think he really doesn't do a lot of interviews. I think he just doesn't want to talk to people and the fans for whatever reasons, especially with your deletion of your social media. Let me just say, I'm very impressed with you, sir, with just how you've opened up with all of us and all the
Thank you.
fans. I know that's not something you do or maybe prefer to do, but I think you understood the assignment today. And I just want to let you know that we appreciate it. And
Thank you so
I
much.
appreciate it because, we don't often get the opportunity to talk to the people we enjoy watching on television, whether it's in the chat room or in person like this or virtually. But I really appreciate the fact that you came to play. So I just wanted to throw that at you
Oh,
real
yeah.
quick. So thank you for that. So number 2,
Thank you.
we've asked this on some of the other guests. Has there been up to the episodes we've seen is, I believe, what, 8 guys? We've seen up to episode 8.
Mhm.
Okay. Has there anything between season 1 and up to episode 8 where you read the script? Because some of them said they read the script and they threw it across the room because they couldn't believe what had happened, or that something happened to their character, or that they did this with the ship or anything. Have you, as an actor or as a character, have come across something that has completely blown your mind up to that?
Like maybe the ending of episode 4 when you're walking away and someone looks back at you. Was that possibly a moment?
It was well, the thing is, I have to get back to the things regarding number 1, what you just said, Jay. I mean, thank you guys, and I there's not hmm, there's not much of a fan base in Serbia regarding the Ark, or at least there were no people coming up to me in the street asking me about the Ark. I know that there's a bunch of my friends that are watching the Ark and enjoying it so much, but that's the only feedback I have from, I mean, so-called fans from Serbia. But I am absolutely interested in opinions coming from US, because as I said before, I was stunned to see the reactions, or let's say the intensity of reactions coming from the US, and that's just something I would love to explore. So thank you guys for calling me, and I think it turned out for the best, because now we have like 20 episodes to talk about instead of 12. So I suppose this is better late than never, or better late than
Not at
never.
all.
You know what I'm talking about. But in terms of did something shock me? I was shocked to see cats being killed off.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, we all kind of knew somebody would be killed off, because you have this big of a magnitude of disaster on ship, and everybody's fine. As I said, we tend not to make things naive, so as much as we can. So I was rooting for some other guys to be killed off. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Who?
Of course
No, I'm
not.
just kidding.
No.
No, I'm kidding.
Of course not, but we knew someone was going to be killed off, and when I saw it was Christina, I was like, bummer. So in terms of shocking and disappointing, I would say that would be the one for me.
Okay. Well, thank you, sir. That's all I have for this round, Roger.
All right, Michael. Oh, I'm getting quite a bit. Sorry, Michael. Talking about
No, go. I'd rather you go there. Mhm.
Kelly scenes were awesome. I'm keeping it spoiler free, but I will make a gift from one of those moments. I know you probably haven't seen the episode, but boy, was Kelly doing a Terminatrix, man. I saw Terminator 3 out of Kelly.
Oh no, we now call her the Kellinator now, or Kellinator. I think it's what it is now. Kellinator.
Yeah. That is
Well,
cool.
you know, as they say, practice makes perfect. So
Yeah.
She got loads of fight scenes. So
yeah,
I suppose I didn't see that episode yet, but when I see it, I'm just gonna say, yeah, you are absolutely right.
Yeah, and I apologize, folks. The reason why I'm not showing the comments is because it does distract our guest, and I apologize.
Yeah.
Our guest loves to read everything. That's why I'm trying to not show the comments. So I jumped the gun, and I'm sorry, I jumped the whatever. Didn't say, but when he said,
the sword.
"Oh my God," there it is. Oh my God, I just got that. He was talking about the remark. Pavle was an Android guy until he met Kelly. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I
Figure that
appreciate you
one.
took the time to explain that to us. Elizabeth says, Pavle, we as fans appreciate you spending time with us and sharing more than you know. Thank you again so very much. Thank you for spending time with us. I appreciate you all for this video and giving us a chance to talk. Look, we as the hosts here are saying the exact same thing. Nathan says, I feel like we're doing a lot more panels this year. Oh, yeah. That's Michael.
Yeah.
That is all Michael, though I didn't join in with too many from last year with the time difference. I've only had about 3 hours sleep tonight. Thank you, Nathan. I feel the same way. And I found them. When I was messing with you earlier, sir, kind of like getting in trouble or you might throw me out the airlock, I was told that I have to behave. And then Nathan said he's got the power to send you out of the airlock. And then Tom said, or locks you into the closet. And either way, I'm claustrophobic. Yeah, I'm screwed. So I did find him, and I do appreciate you guys having fun with that. But
that's
all
what
right,
I'm talking about. Like you fans are like a massive army standing in front of us. So thank you for that kind of security.
You know, it's both ways, young man. You take the time, you do your job, and you humble us by being here. Wow. You know, it's just,
thank you.
And again, as I mentioned it earlier, not only do you humble them, but you know the material. It's like, wow. It's just absolutely amazing. So if Michael doesn't want to go, I want to go back to Marcia and then go back to
Marcia. And then
guys,
there's a comment
realistically,
you need to read.
We are really needy. What time is it over there, Pavle? On a Friday night?
No, it's almost midnight.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I mean, come on, guys. We got to be cool about this. Which is the comment?
I'll throw it up because I just this is what we say that people are shocked. You guys are reading a lot of comments, and from most of us, so thank you and thank you, Pavle. And without the Ark and Outpost, I wouldn't have known about this great actor.
Yeah,
thanks, man. Thanks, appreciate it.
It's kind of cool to be included on that one. You know, folks, sorry, it is tough to just we have YouTube, we have Facebook, and we have Twitch, and we have multiple channels, and you guys don't see all the comments. So it is difficult for us. Sorry, I'm not comparing myself to head of security over here defending the ship. But we are a tiny gatekeeper, and we try to get to your comments, guys. So we appreciate you understanding. So let's go on over to Marcia and then Jag, and then Pavle, yeah, we got to finish up yet.
Yeah, this should be the
Yeah.
last round. Yeah.
It's almost it's almost the witching hour. We don't want to overstay
I know,
our
this is-
welcome.
We
So
would much
funny.
rather have you back again, Pavle, than keep
Right.
you 12 hours now.
Yeah.
so the Juno project. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Marsha.
No, Marsha.
You knew I had
No,
to.
Marsha.
I had
No.
forgotten. Way to go.
Are we going there? We're going there.
No,
We-
we're
we
not
have-
going there.
It's just, I say, what's love got to do with it? Love has nothing to do with what
That
the Juno
was
project is about.
answered in this last episode. Ha ha.
Yeah. However, I would like to know from Felix's point of view, because Felix is one who doesn't seem to give a crap. Garnett is excited about it, and Lane.
You want to pull out
So,
the airlock, Marsha?
what say you?
Marsha, I'm just gonna say I appreciate the provocation. I appreciate your edge. But I think he's on arc one because he was head of security for Trust and Mrs. Trust. So I don't know. I know. It's the whole world is in strange times, and people might find this question or my answer quite dodgy, or somewhat would find that insulting or whatever. I'm not. But who would I pair with? And Strickland who would he pair with, especially him being gay? And in terms of reproduction, it's
Right. Strictly
it's a
reproduction.
it's a labyrinth. But I suppose the Juno project is made on genetic assumptions.
Yes.
Or maybe not
Yes.
assumptions. It's made of based on genetics. So I have no idea who would be his pair. If he would be only like even a sperm donor or whatever. But I'm completely blank. Sorry, Marsha.
Oh, that's okay. Because I think that's a great answer, because we don't know. None,
Exactly.
who's a DNA expert, and that's what the Juno project seems to be. Strictly scientific, and emotions have nothing to do with it. So I
Okay,
appreciate
all
that
right.
answer. Thank you.
Yes, it is a
I'm happy
marvelous
now.
answer. Yeah, it is a marvelous answer. But the argument that we have is she believes it's going to be test tube stuff to extend the species, and the rest of us guys are like, no, they're gonna do what they need to do to extend the species. Yes,
But it's 100 years in the
Okay.
future. It's 100 years in the future. So
Yeah,
if we can do that right now, sure as heck we can do that 100 years from now, where it's strictly scientific. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
exactly. That's what. Nice one, Tom.
that was good, Tom.
Good griff.
And then it comes out a baby with a baton, or with a
Or a sword.
or a sword or police hat or something like that does not cry. It doesn't cry at all.
Yeah.
It commands from day one, milk.
Comes out with a jumping rope.
That's funny. That is cool.
Oh,
The umbilical cord for a jumping rope,
you guys are killing me.
Well, you brought it up.
Yeah, you did.
I can't
But
wait
yeah,
to see what
sorry,
happens.
but what you said, Marsha, is just plain scientifically. We tend to invest our emotions into everything.
Yes.
And
yes.
I think that is a mistake. I think that is kind of childish, isn't it? Because the kids are the ones who are investing their emotions into everything being, turning them into little brats or whatever. But if we're like adults, if we're grown-ups, we're gonna do stuff we need to do because we're responsible, especially for like the rest of humanity is like only 200 people.
Yes.
So
Yes.
leave the bloody emotions aside. Do what you need to do to survive.
Thank you. All right. Awesome.
Here we go.
Jag.
I'm just going to make since we're trying to get you out of here, I'm just going to make a comment. I would love to see a little bit more backstory of when you were the bodyguard for the trusts, a little bit more of how you became a part of that. And I would love to see a little bit more than what we saw in season 1, but that's just my wish. But, just to kind of see a little bit more of the early Felix, Felix, the early prequel.
Yeah, I mean, it was that we only have what is written, so we only got some couple of informations and those scenes on the Earth, him being shot in front of the Mr. Trust.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that backstory was never explored that much, but I mean, there's like 15 storylines that we need to push.
Right.
So that might just be standing in line. I don't know.
No, but I mean, I'm just saying, if somebody from the writing room is watching, that would be something we would probably like to see in season 3, season 4, season 5.
I got your back. I got your back on that one.
All right. Again, much thanks, sir. We appreciate your time and you sharing your time with us. That's all I got on my end, guys.
And I want to abuse this privilege. Felix drinks vodka, or he likes to drink vodka. What is Felix's drink, and what is Pavle's drink? And I think we'll leave it at that, man.
I don't think he drinks alcohol that much because he needs to be, stay sharp. Yeah. But after that much time on the Ark, I believe everybody needs a shot of basically anything. If they would make a drink out of a rat, they would make it and drink it and be like, oh, this is the most amazing. It's just so cramped and so stressful that they just need to let off some steam. Me personally, I'm more of a long drinks guy, so beer and wine, or like spritz. That's it for me.
Yeah.
Or Comet water.
Or Comet water, yes.
Yeah.
That's like
infested Comet water.
Wow. Again,
thank you so much.
We appreciate you allowing us to violate your privacy for a bit, and we thank you.
No violation at all.
And I do agree that 20 episodes does allow us to talk about a lot of stuff. Yeah. Michael, it's everyone in the chat room, put it on there so I can do it real quick. Let's say goodbye, or no, say ta-ta for now.
Ta-ta.
Michael, Marshall,
I have a final question, which
sorry,
I was forced to ask by one of your nemesises. Ryan. Yeah.
Okay.
Because Ryan, I had personally made a decision that we were going to change some things from what we did last season. And I had told him that we decided we were going to have a big group of directors at the end of the season instead of doing the actors like we did last year. Ryan got really mad at me. And he went, no, I want to do it. It was fun. Therefore, we're doing the directors, the actors, and the writers would like to do one too. So we're probably going to have 3 big things after the end of the season. And you don't have to answer now, but I would formally like to invite you to the actors big panel. And yes, you don't have to answer now, but
I answered it.
I want to know. I will.
You already said.
I heard what he said, but I will send you an invite when we make the decision of when it is. But I think it's going to be fun.
It's going to be hilarious.
I think so as well. I mean, Ryan can be such a sourpuss from time to time. I know.
Yeah.
I completely.
But we have to give him credit because he was honestly our first art guest that we ever had.
Yes.
He came in before Dean Devlin.
Yep.
Oh,
So
amazing.
Ryan was our first art guest. So he's kind of set the standard, and he's the one who kind of said, "Why don't you get a bunch of the actors together at the end of the season?" And we go, "Oh, that sounds like a good idea." So
Yeah,
Yep.
we had 8 of them. That was.
But listen,
It was.
did you call Ryan or did Ryan call you because he's desperate for attention? You know that.
I had an NDA on that. I'm sorry.
NDA.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now heard the real answer to the question.
That's it.
Oh my God, Pavle,
Yeah.
that was great.
I mean, that's
Michael?
just the stuff we pull on each other.
Oh, and
all the
real
time.
quick, Ryan posted a video of you guys dancing, and I just want to
Oh,
say
yeah.
you got some moves. Let me just say
Oh,
that.
thanks, man. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. Musical. That's the new thing I would love. To do.
I'm thinking that's what you guys
Oh,
were doing,
that'd be
rehearsing
great.
for
There we go.
the rehearsal for the musical.
Yeah.
The ARC musical. All
I
right.
love it.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
Tom.
much.
Thank you,
guys.
Pep. And
Thanks
thank
a
you,
lot.
Corey Dean. Look, folks, let's just make it quick. There's a lot on the calendar. ndbmedia.net. Head on over there. You'll see the episodes programmed here. We got to finish up. And I did notice that when
Goodness.
Nathan said it's 3 a.m. over there, remember, it's 3 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah.
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 So I
It's
just want to put that one
Saturday.
over.
It's Saturday
Yeah,
somewhere.
Yeah, and you're about to catch up. So we want. Oh no, yeah, I think you did. All
Yeah.
right. So
I'm gonna turn into a pumpkin now. It's
yeah. Oh, you see, now it's 6 a.m. Sorry. Wow, it's been
Yeah.
that
Wow.
bit. Okay.
Nathan,
Well,
you're
all kidding
quite
you might as well
aside,
stay up now.
yeah. All kidding aside, guys, we're gonna finish, and we're just gonna cut to it because, again, 2 hours. It's incredible, Pavle. You are.
Thank you, Pablo.
Yeah, dude, it's been absolutely awesome. All right,
Thank
folks,
you,
we're
guys.
out of here.
Awesome.
Check his Instagram, YouTube. Oh no, wait a minute. He
No,
doesn't
no.
have that.
Nope.
He doesn't have that, but he's here with us.
You just have
That's
to
what
watch
the
this
members-
over and over.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
Mhm.
Okay, folks, all kidding aside, we are out, and we'll see you guys very soon. We'll see you guys on the other side. And check out the ARC. Check it out live.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.